Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of the React Native course. In this video, we will learn how to build user interface using the core components in React Native. See the application that we are going to build in this course. The first application that we will build when we learn the concepts in React Native, we'll apply all that concept in building this application. So task management is the application that we'll build when we progress on the course. And there are some another application like a doctor appointment app. This will build in at the end of the course when we learned all the concepts in React Native, and then we'll apply all our concept to build this app. Now this app will going to be a full stack application where we'll build the entire UI using React Native, and also we'll create the backend. So let's see the demo of the application. So first here will be have a splash screen, and then we'll land to this onboarding screen. Once we click on get started, it will ask to log in or sign up. Now let's give some number here. So once we fill the 10-digit number, log in with my mobile, it will ask for the OTP. Now here let's fill the OTP. Then we'll land on the home screen. Now here we have the list of doctors where we can book the appointment. Also here there are some categories that we can choose it, the symptoms. There will be a navigation bar also. So this is the application that we'll build at the end of the course. Also we'll give an option here for the voice call. Now if you have worked with web or any other mobile framework, so in any of the development, we basically use a language to build the user interface. Now let's assume we are building a website. So for building the website, we use HTML. In HTML, there are a bunch of tags that we can use to build user interface. Similarly, in the mobile, when we do the mobile development, so we need some UI elements that we can use it to build the UI. So React Native also provide bunch of UI components to build that user interface. Now in the React Native, these components are called core components. So the core component are the essential building blocks provided by the React Native to build the user interface for mobile application. So these components are divided into multiple categories. Like we have basic component, user interface. There are some list views, and some components are Android or iOS specific, and there are some other components. Now first here we are going to discuss the basic components. Now before learning the components here, first let's see this table. Now here we have this all React Native UI components, and these are the components name that is corresponding to the respected platform. Like in the Android view, the view call as view group, and in iOS it call as UI view, and in web we use div. When we need a container that support layout with the flexbox, or where we can apply styles, so in that case we need to use it view. Now in the mobile development, everything is about view. If we are talking about Android and iOS, everything is a view. Even a single text is also a view. So all the components that will add in the screens, we need to wrap it around a view. View will be a parent component, we can say, because we need to lay out the components, we need to lay out the screen. So for that we need to wrap it around view, and then we can add other components that we require. Now React Native, what React Native actually do at the runtime, all the component that we'll use that provided by React Native, this translate into the corresponding native UI components. So if we are using Android, and let's say if we are using text component, this will be translate into text view. Similarly, if you are running in the iOS device and here you are using text, React Native component, this will be translated into corresponding UI text view. Okay, now we'll start with the basic component. In the basic component, we have this all component: view, text, image, text input, scroll view, and style sheet. So view is basically will be used when we need to lay out the things, and we need to basically flex the layout or something. Text basically will use when we need to display some text on the screen. Similarly, the image, if we need to display images, and then others. So let's go back to code here and let's delete the everything from here. Remove everything from the app component. At now in the app.tsx file, we just have this React component. In the Android device, we see it is just giving a blank screen, and to run this in Android, we need to do npm run Android and hit enter. It will basically install that build the application install in the Android device. I connected my device with USB. So to connecting with the device via USB, we need to go it here, running on device. Once we enable the developer option from the mobile, so we have to go to setting, about phone, software information, and then we need to tap on the build number uh, 7 times, and then we can then enable the developer option. And then once we enable developer option, we need to enable USB debugging, that we can found inside setting developer options, and there we can enable USB debugging. Once we enable the USB debugging, we can run this command to see the connected devices, like this adb devices, and here we'll be able to see our device. Now then after that, we need to run npm run Android. This command will build the Android application and install it on the uh, device. Also, when you install the application on Android device, make sure you have started the Metro bundler. So for our case, it is already running because we have started the iOS app. Now this is the Android device that I have connected with it. Here we can see it is just giving a blank black screen, and here we do see it's giving a blank screen. Now if we need to print it anything, we just need to use a text component. Let's put it here, text hello world, and let's just save it. Now here you will see, now here you see it is giving at the top on the uh, notification bar, and for the Android it is printing at here. So in the iOS, when we use any component directly in the screen, uh, it can be put the component at top. So for that we need to give some padding, or another option is we can use safe area view. Now safe area view is a type of component. So let's go back to the documentation, and you will be found that component in the iOS component safe area view. Now this safe area view component, basically what it do, it basically add the padding automatically, and it will make sure the content that we are putting, that will become inside safe area. So let's put it like here. Now we see hello world at here. Now this has automatically added padding on the top. So now we need to make sure the starting entry point of our application should be wrapped around safe area view. Now first we'll design this login screen uh, to practice all these component, the core components. Now if we see here, this design, it is basically putting everything on the center of the screen. So what we need to do here now, if we need to put it everything in a center, then we need to go to create something, a container where that will put it in the center. So we need to lay out this entire screen. So for this, let's add a view here. Also, we can apply this in a safe area view, but let's create a view here, and inside this view we'll put it style, align, items, center, and here we'll put text hello. Also, now this comes now at the center here. Also, let's put here align content center. Now here the text is in the center. Here we'll use flex 1. This will fill the entire screen. Now here align item center. This is basically what it is doing. This is basically center the all the item horizontally, and here flex 1 we have put it to fill the entire screen. We don't need this align content. And the next that we need to apply justify content, that will basically put the all the item vertically in center. Now here we do see here still our text is coming at here. That this is because the parent is safe area view, and to fill the entire screen for this safe area view we need to put it at here style flex 1. Now we do see here it is now giving hello at in the center of the screen. This is now what it is doing. Flex 1 put it fill the entire screen for this safe area view, and here there is only one view, and also we are giving that view flex 1 property that fill the entire screen. So now let's give here our text that we need login here. Okay. Now this is our main app component. Now to structure this project, we'll create we'll create subfolders. So let's create a source folder here, and inside this we'll put it components. Now in the React Native we are using core components, but our custom components that we'll create using that core component, that we'll put it in the components folder. And let's here add one more folder that will give it name screens. Okay, now let's create one screen, basically a folder login screen, and here let's do login screen dot js. Now here we can use TypeScript, but this is we just doing for learning, so I want to make it everything simple. So for that we'll just use a plain JavaScript. It will be easy for the beginners also to learn everything. Now here we need to create a React Native component. So for that I'll type rnfes. Now this is a our login screen component. So let's put this at here in the login screen, and let's just pass a login screen here. Now to style this component we do use, either we can use inline styling, like here we can use a style pro, Or there is another option, that is the style sheet. Style sheet is a type of abstract component. It is works similar to CSS style sheets, and that basically exposes some methods that we can use it to create these styles objects. So here we have compose, create, and flatten these functions that comes in style sheet. Basically the idea here is when we don't need to add so much styling in the render function, then we can put it separately at here. And also this also do type checking, and it would be and make an easy while doing the development. So let's say if we want to create the style for this text component, or let's say if we are applying the all the props or this all the styles in every text, so then we can add a text object here that we can use it and apply on any component. So let's give here login text. So if we go back to the design, here we need this color, and if we see the font size, so let's put it here, font size. Now in the React, when we create the components, we generally put these sizes in the pixels, or we can use some other formats. But when we do the styling in React Native, we just use numbers. So if we put it 48 here, that will be the same we are putting in a pixel. So we don't need to give here a string format. We just need to pass the number here, 48. So this, now let's use this style here, style styles dot login text. So this is coming more bigger. Let's reduce it to 34. Okay, and let's put it color, this color we need it. Okay, so we do see this has changed to this login here, this color. Now let's put it font weight. Here we do need bold. So all the properties that we will put it the CSS in the CSS object here, we need to use the camel case here. So here now there is another text, that is welcome back. Let's put one more text here, and we'll give it welcome back. Right? So this is how we can use the text component. Now if we do see in the design, there are two inputs component. Now in the React Native, there is a component text input that we can use it to create the input fields. Let's go back to component, basic component, text input. So this is the text input component. So these are the props that we can use it in this component. Now here, if we see there is some gap between these two fields and the upper at here this text. So for this, we'll create one more view, and we'll put it style margin top. Margin top will define the margin top, and let's give it number 40. Let's just reduce it to 20. 20 is fine. Okay, now here we'll give text input. Here we give placeholder, enter email. Let's apply style here, style. Now we need that style in this, say in the both of the fields. So what we'll do, we'll just put it here, input field, border width to background color. Let's give this background color. We'll put it styles dot input field. Now here let's give the width 100%. Also we can use percentage. If we don't need to give it number, we can use the percentage. Let's see if I give it 100%, height 48. Now to apply the width 100% here, what we need to do is add here in this style, let's put width 100%. So now we do see here this has applied to width 100%. Now we'll reduce it to 90. Let's align items center. So now we do see here this has been centered in the screen. And let's give here padding of 4. Let's give it 8. Now here we'll give the border color. Let's give border color this same, this one. So this is the email field, and similarly let's put one more field here, enter password. And here if we see these are two fields, but there is no any gap here. So for this what we can do, we can add a gap field here. Let's put it gap of. Now here to define the type in the text input, if we go back to the documentation, we have several props here that we can use pass it while defining the text input. Now here there is an option input mode. So here we can use input mode like text or others decimal numeric search. So let's give it here input type, input mode text. So now to get the secure text and keep the uh, keep the data in masked, so we'll use the prop here secure text entry, and we'll set this as true. Now if we type anything here, this will not be visible and this will be a secure text. Now for the email, here we'll use keyboard type, and here we'll use email address. And also if you see here when we writing any text, let's just for now we to see here it is. Now this is more clear. uh yeah, so now when we are giving here the email address, the first letter is in caps. Now to disable this, what we'll do, auto capitalize as none. Now if we see we're typing it, it is not capitalized the first alphabet, first letter. Now we have added these two uh, fields, these two email and password. Then next will be have here forgot your password. Now if we see, this is kind of a link. Just to create a link, what we can do here, there is a component that is touchable opacity, or a pressable component, that we can use it. Now what is the touchable opacity component is, this is basically a component. When you will wrap this in any component, it will give you a touchable respond. So let's say when you press it, it gives you a feedback the user has pressed something. So now this component, there is another component, the pressable API, that has introduced for creating us this the same thing, this pressable component, the same feedback it can provide feedback. So that also we can use it. So let's put it here. We'll use the touchable opacity, touchable opacity, and it is fine to use touchable opacity. But yeah, if you want a more extensive, or of future proof, or if you want to uh, change the styling in your own way, then you can use a pressable. So let's put this style, and here we'll put text, forgot your password. Now to put this component in the right, we can do a view. We can create a view here, and let's put it inside view, and let's do style, flex, or justify content, center. So this is in the center already, and align items, flex, and width 100%. Okay, so this has put it our this component at here in the right. Now we can apply here padding. Now to apply padding horizontally, like on a x-axis, we can use padding horizontally. So this will apply that padding horizontally, and if we need to apply padding vertically, then we'll do padding vertical here. Let's give it 10 here, and let's give the color. So for the color, we'll give it style here, style color. Also we can put it this color in a constant file from where we can use it, and also we can create a common styles. Later we'll create the common styles for the text, and there can be, and also we can create components like a link component at here, that we can use it then in the login screen. Now then at here we need a button. So let's put it. So for the button, we need to pass it the title at here. Let's give it sign in, and there are some styles. This is a button, this is a link. Now we see here, this is giving that effect, the pressable effect. Due to edit, we have touchable opacity. Now let's create this button component in the components folder, because we'll reuse this at multiple places. And let's give it button.js. We have here button component, and let's use this button component, and we'll put it here, children, or let's say label. In this style. Now we'll let's add us these styles at here. Button, background color. This is the background color. And let's put it styles dot button, and we'll use this button at here. So I just change it the reference the name here to UI button. This is what just allies the name of this button to UI button, so it should not be have duplicate name in this component. And then let's go to here and we'll put it label sign in one, and at here we need to give it label. So let's change this to sign in. Okay, now let's say we need to pass it the styles at in this component. Some of the styles that we are already applying at here, but some of the styles we can pass it, let's say in the props. Then for that, what we can do here, let's say if the styles component, if the style prop comes in the button, then here we can pass it an array. In the array we can apply multiple styles. Now here the component that we are using, button from React Native. This component only support just minimal customization. Other than button, what we can use here, either we can go with touchable opacity or pressable. Even from if you go to the documentation, you will see a button. So now you need to check if this button will be fit on your with your project requirement. This button can work if you don't need any type of customization. You just need a press on press handler, and then you need to pass title color. But when you need a different type of buttons, let's say you have to apply a variant, primary, secondary, or you want to put it some more styling there. So for that we can use a pressable component, or you can also use touchable opacity. So touchable opacity we already have used it. Now let's use the pressable. So what we'll do here, we'll pass the here pressable, and then let's do it at here, and this will change to text, and let's give it label here, and the style here we'll pass the styles dot button, and the style that we'll get it from the prop. So this is a button now, and here let's put it line items center. Let's give it some height, 42, and then we need here the text color. right? So let's just give it here. Let's remove this one, and here we'll give text, color white. Here if we see this button, when we are pressing it, it is not giving that touchable feedback. So let's apply here. Here we'll get it the field pressed, and now we'll check if this has been pressed. If yes, then we'll change the opacity, otherwise it will be blank. So now if we see, it is now giving some touchable effect. Let's give some margin top. Okay, so now this is the login screen, and now here we need to give one more text, create new account. So now this will be also a button, and now here we need to apply the background white. So we'll use the same button component. Also let's press add here on press. Now in the web we use generally on click. So in the mobile now we have to use here on press. On press will be triggered when we click on this button. So if we want to get it like this, let's say if you want to print it, here we can check to print the console log. First we see it is impressed. Let's give some here border radius. Now here let's add one more prop, variant. By default variant will be primary. If we get it variant, let's say it's not primary, we can just check here. Variant is not equal to primary, then we'll just change the color. Black. So now let's go back here, and here we'll pass. Here we did pass the button label sign in, and here we'll pass this create new account. And let's pass the style here, style, background color, and let's give variant secondary. So now we see this is the button, and also we have here text and some more buttons, that is for social login. So let's apply here a view, and here we'll give text, or continue with, and let's give it this style margin top 40. Now here we need three icons or three buttons basically. So for that what we need to do is, here let's create a view. Now in this view we'll create style flex direction. Now because we need to give it in a row, now here we use flex direction row, and let's add all these buttons. Now we'll basically download these images, the Google and Facebook and Apple icon. Now let's create a folder here, assets, and inside this we'll add one more folder, image, and here we put it all that images. Okay, and now here in this view we'll basically call that button the one that we have created. Now let's add here children. Basically we'll pass the image as children, and here we'll add condition not children, and here we do render children. Okay, so we just added condition, if children is not present then only display text, otherwise it will render the children. Now let's go back to login screen. Here we'll call that button, and so we do see here it has added this button and text is not coming, but we just need to give it the width is coming like this. So what we'll do, we'll put it flex justify content center, and we need to put three buttons. Let's give this style width 60 here. Okay, so these are the three buttons, and let's give it here border radius, or first let's give it here gap of 4. So these are three buttons. Okay, now the text is also in the center, and we'll set background color. Okay. And here we do use image, and let's give it source, and here we will import that image, import Google image from assets image google.png, and let's pass this image at here. We see this image in the button. Similarly, we'll import other images. Let's import here other images. Import fb image from assets image f fb.png. Now here we have built the login screen. We have learned how we can use the view, how we can apply the flex in a view. Like here we have created the flex in a row and put it in the center, and also we have seen how we can use image component. Okay, so we have completed everything from here. This scroll view, the like here we are using this as a view. We can change this to scroll view, and let's put this inside the content container style. And line items also. Okay, so this is here now. Is this is able to scroll it. So let's say if we are in a device which have the lesser height, might be we need to scroll it. So for that we have given here the scroll view on the parent.